They say living by the lake is a dream, but for me it almost became a nightmare. When the HOA president fined me $1,000 just for swimming in my own private lake, I thought I had no choice but to pay. What she didn't know was that I had proof on my side and the courage to expose her games. If you love HOA revenge stories, neighborhood drama, and satisfying justice, this video is for you. I never thought living by the lake would land me in trouble. After years of city chaos, I came here searching for peace. This lake wasn't just water to me, it was a piece of my childhood, a place where I used to come with my family, where we felt free and alive. I thought owning a home here would be a dream come true, but it quickly turned into a nightmare. Tell me, have you ever chased peace only to find yourself caught in a storm you never saw coming? I still remember the day I found the notice taped to my door. It claimed I owed the HOA $1,000 for swimming in the lake behind my house. At first, I thought it was a mistake. That lake was the reason I bought this property, and my deed made it clear it belonged to me. But then I saw the signature, Karen, our HOA president. I felt trapped. I could pay and stay quiet, like so many of my neighbors, or I could fight. When I asked around, the neighbors warned me. Don't push back against Karen, they whispered. She always wins. They told me stories of ridiculous fines and rules no one could escape. Some had even lost savings trying to appeal her. Penalties? I started to realize this wasn't about my lake. It was about control. She used fear to keep everyone silent. And now I was her new target. I decided not to give in. I spent nights combing through records, property deeds, tax rolls, even old HOA charters. At first it felt hopeless. Then I noticed something unusual. The HOA budget listed thousands for lake maintenance. Yet, not once had I seen a crew working there. The water was untouched. That was the first sign something was very wrong. I kept digging. The more I looked, the more I uncovered. Karen had been quietly lowering her own HOA fees while raising everyone else's. She called it special exemptions. To the rest of us, it looked like theft. I collected every document, copied every receipt, and mapped out how she had been using her position to benefit herself. By the time I finished, I realized I wasn't the one trap she was. The next HOA meeting was packed. Karen started with her usual act of authority, calling out my unpaid fine in front of everyone. My hands were shaking, but I stood up and spoke clearly. Before you talk about my fine, let's talk about yours. Then I laid the documents on the table: ownership of the lake, proof of inflated fees, and her reduced dues. For the first time, Karen had no response. The board members and neighbors were stunned. Whispers turned into shouts, and soon the room was demanding action. They voted on the spot. My fine was erased, and Karen's own HOA fees were increased by $5,000 annually to repay the community. The very system she used to punish me had turned against her. The next morning, I walked down to the lake. For the first time in months, I felt at peace. I dove into the water, not just as a homeowner, but as someone who had refused to be silenced. My neighbors watched from their yards, cheering. That lake became more than my property. It became proof that standing up to intimidation works. Tell me in the comment section. If your HOA fined you for using your own property, would you have fought back, or would you have paid and stayed quiet? If y'all are still with me, then subscribe to HOA Traps for more such revenge stories. Until then, Cheo.